Welcome to Never Shut Up. It's your boy Marcellus Wiley. Feeling good today, wearing something I couldn't wear when I was growing up, so I feel like I got freedom. I done made it. Yeah, man. Looking at this shirt on this camera on this monitor right here, I'm telling y'all, dog, it was so ignorant growing up, knowing that you couldn't look at every crayon in the Crayola box and say, Mommy, I want that shirt. I want that color. I want that hat. Yeah, I grew up in them gang-infested areas, right? And I literally couldn't wear red. And it's so crazy now, I wear red all the time just because I'm so traumatically stressed from my growing up days of couldn't wear this. So silly, man. And in all seriousness, so many people lost their life just over a color. Ignorance. All is good. This morning, the kids, you know what they were doing. They woke up late. 2 of the 3 woke up late. Daddy had to take them to school today because wife is working. So let's just say the teachers gave me the side eye. They're like, you must have did drop off, Marcellus, because the kids, they about 20 late. All is good. I'm here for you guys. And right now, I want to talk about somebody who's here for his boy. A.J. Brown is down with Jalen Hurts. This dude is going all in on the Philadelphia Eagles paying Jalen Hurts. Let me give you the quote. If you don't pay this man, just ship me off wherever he goes. Oh, for real? Okay. And I get why he's saying that. In his first year in Philadelphia, he went out there and had, 1,500 yards, 11 touchdowns. Jalen Hurts balling out of control, 35 total touchdowns as well. And they made it to the Super Bowl. So already A.J. Brown is hitching his wagon to Jalen Hurts. Now, who is Jalen Hurts? That's the real conversation. Because coming into this year, there were conversations around Jalen Hurts. Is he a franchise quarterback? You know, going into his third year, first year, played at the end of the year, made some noise, but then going into his second year, you saw sparks, you saw signs, but you also had some reservations, right? But then this year, he took off. Now, why should you bet on Jalen Hurts and being a franchise quarterback? Well, it's the same reason A.J. Brown is betting on him. The dude has what you need in a franchise quarterback. Obviously, the talent is on display. Not just the arm talent, and we saw that looking great this year, finally looking like franchise level of quarterback talent. But it's the intangibles, the things you don't see, but you obviously notice about Jalen Hurts that are special. Anybody who's been around the game, you know that you always bet on a worker and a man of character. Trust me, all these guys that can run and jump and got all those muscles, yeah, they seduce you to make you want to bet on them. But be careful. Keep a couple bucks in your pocket on those guys, because a lot of those guys don't pan out because on the inside, they don't have those intangibles, the things that you can't measure, but they just come out in display in every single way. Jalen Hurts has that. High character. I mean, he might be more mature than Nick Sirianni, his coach, because you saw him in certain moments, even during the Super Bowl. Sirianni's all losing it, and Jalen Hurts just like, calm down. The post-game press conference, you can see Jalen Hurts so composed, even though obviously he was devastated from the loss. So Jalen Hurts has that high character. He's a worker. He's going to be first in, last out. And I'm not just saying it in cliche. I'm saying it actually like, yo, the dude is going to grind for you. He's going to put in that work. But then here's the other part that I love. And Patrick Mahomes has a version of this because Patrick Mahomes' father was a professional athlete. Well, Jalen Hurts, he has his own version. He's a coach's son. And if you think about that, those dinner table conversations just slightly different because you're digesting the game not only on the practice field and the game field, but at home every single day with someone who has a mind's eye and an overview of the game. It translates not only from Alabama to Oklahoma, but now as you see him ascend, you got to ride that wave. But that's not the only level of this story, obviously. Now, I get you, A.J. Brown. You a beast in your own right? And Jalen Hurts has now arrived. But have you guys ever hitched your wagon to somebody else in business just because you had a great relationship with them? Of course you have, right? But is there some reservation in that as well? Of course there is. It's like Jalen Brown is sitting there like, I'm about to write a check that I can't cash, but he needs the cash. What if the Philadelphia Eagles calls his bluff? What if they play chicken? They like, look, AJ, stay in your lane. You know who you are. We know who Jalen is. Do not make this a 2-for-1 situation. Because what if we're not sold on Jalen Hurts just yet? Think about it. Lamar Jackson, who has not been to a Super Bowl yet, but is a unanimous MVP, is still looking for his big payout, right? So Jalen Hurts, as good as he was last year, I'm sure upstairs they're like, do it again first. And then secondly, they're saying, even if he does it again, we got to see how that looks. We got to see how this team performs. Jalen Hurts, great quarterback, 22 passing touchdowns, 13 rushing touchdowns. They obviously want to see more passing touchdowns and keep those rushing touchdowns going, but that's the risky behavior for a quarterback, running the football constantly, trying to get those yards. So if you're looking at it from the organization's perspective, they can't be fully sold on Jalen Hurts just yet. So why are you, A.J. Brown, fully sold on Jalen Hurts right now? So you stepping into his business and you making it your business because it was productive for you now. But what if Jalen Hurts has plateaued? What if Jalen Hurts regresses next year? You got this kind of conversation? You want that kind of linkage? It just made me laugh because I'm like, If they call his bluff, he's stuck. If Jalen Hurts doesn't get better, he's stuck. And it just made me say, I love my teammates. And I've had hundreds, if not thousands of teammates. I have never, ever asked one of them or wanted to co-sign for them in terms of their career earnings. I didn't want them to bleed over into me. And frankly, I didn't want to bleed over into them. As much as football is the ultimate team sport, there's a lot of interdependence going on, right? Like, I need you, you need me in terms of execution of the play. But once we get off the field, do I need you? Do you need me? Do I want to ride the wave with you? Because what if you can't surf as long as I can? What if you can't surf as well as I can? Then I'm all of a sudden, in perception, bonded with you. I think this was a great big ups to the homie. Like, all right, I know I got leverage. I know they loving me over here. 1,500, 11 touchdowns at receiver. Oh, you're special. Jalen Hurts had a special year, but not to the same degree as A.J. Brown. So it's interesting to see them form this Voltron and hopefully go out there and get exactly what they want. But I think it's going to take another offseason for the Philadelphia Eagles to really throw that bag at them. Until then, I guess they just going to be both holding their breath together. Well, coming up on Never Shut Up, oh man, we about to talk about the cover-up. Kyrie Irving, seen everywhere in the cover-up. Yes, that's coming up on Brinks TV and Reese TV. That's next for you guys. Where's my challenge? Welcome back to Never Shut Up. Your boy Marcellus Wiley, about to talk about the cover-up. What do they say? The cover-up was worse than the crime? I don't know about that one in this situation right now. We all know that Nike ended its relationship with Kyrie Irving and his sneaker deal that he had with him, which was a lucrative deal. And more importantly, those shoes were selling. Kyrie was top 3 in terms of Nike sales, in terms of their shoes in basketball. And you got to think of all the athletes, all the players they have in basketball. I'm talking about LeBron. I'm talking about Paul George. I'm talking about, obviously, Jordan, etc. Kyrie was out there slanging them. And then all of a sudden, the relationship ended. And we obviously know why. Let's talk about why first before we get into this cover-up. That why was the most bullshit why I think I've ever seen in terms of a major relationship that is profitable for both sides ending the way it ended. Let's talk about it. One, they basically made the stance that Kyrie Irving sharing some information was worse than those who produced it, who distributed it, and who profited from it. Think about that. Kyrie Irving, not mentioning what way or how he felt about anything, sharing something that was deemed harmful or hateful, But just sharing it was deemed worse than the entities that not only produced it, but distributed it and then made money off of it. You don't get it yet? Well, that's basically like the newspaper out there actually being worse than the criminal. The newspaper, because it's sharing the information, is actually worse than the crimes they cover. And I think that's what was just so crazy about it. Not what was being said in the documentary, which I didn't watch, 4 hours long, didn't need to go there. I was really just flying high looking at this relationship, saying you guys can't come to a greater agreement than this over a shared post? Interesting. I digress. But now, Kyrie Irving still going to wear his shoes. They stopped producing the shoes. But guess what? I think I got 10,000 boxes in my home office and my home studio and my home closet. Like, that's how many rooms you need when you're Kyrie Irving with all those shoes. And he's sitting there like, bruh, I'm still going to wear them, but obviously I am not going to let you guys profit and have these shoes on full display with the logo. So Kyrie Irving's been out there covering up the logo. Some of the sayings on there has been, quote, logo here, I am free, thank you God, I am, and free all of my people. Of course, Kyrie gonna go there. Free all his people. Well, Kyrie, not all your people. I'm free. I mean, I'm wearing red right now. I told you I'm free. If I'm wearing red the way I grew up, bro, and where I grew up, I am free. Handle everybody else. Handle all the rest of our people. But to this point, it's almost weird. Like, what should Kyrie Irving do right now, right? You gonna keep wearing the cover-up Nikes, or are you gonna start your own line? What are you gonna do with that? Because that will be profitable. One, it already has the jump start that's necessary. You have the capital, you have the name and the branding, you already have proof of concept and market success, and most importantly, you have a marketplace that will be open to this because of the way that your last opportunity ended, right? There will be so many people embracing this. Oh, that was wrong. That was messed up how they did Kyrie. Oh, I'm going to buy his shoes just cuz. And then there's going to be the people who just buy them because they actually think they're good-looking shoes. Then there are people going to buy them because they actually believe in you, Kyrie Irving. And then there's still those fools from the 80s and 90s who think it's all about the shoes, right? Didn't Nike tell us it's the shoes? It's got to be the shoes. So they would still believe that the shoes could do something. Maybe if I wear Kyrie's, I could play like Kyrie. That person still exists. But all that said, there was just a huge relationship and opportunity that was lost through disagreement, through miscommunication, or no communication. And pretty sad about that, especially when you hear reports right now that Kanye West and Adidas are in conversations to rekindle that relationship. I wonder why. Well, there are reports that Adidas lost north of $1 billion, right? Austin Powers style. I mean, you talk about a B, and all of a sudden they look at the same guy that they were like, psh, be gone, a little differently, right? I don't think Nike would do that. I don't think Kyrie has that type of leverage with Nike. They have so many on their roster. He didn't come to save Nike. He rode the wave with Nike and made his own waves. But he's not LeBron, he's not Jordan, etc., right? So I don't think that they will ever get into that conversation again. Phil Knight seems like from this distance like he's moved on. So Kyrie, it's time for you to move on. Instead of putting tiki huts on your shoes and Scotch tape and all this kind of tape on your shoes and writing in Sharpie, free my people, it's time for Kyrie to go out there and do his thing. Like Stephon Marbury did. Sold those shoes out here in America. People were like, I don't care about them shoes. Dude went to China, can't keep them shoes on the shelf. Imagine Kyrie Irving doing the same thing. I'm the guy that bought like 3 different pairs of the Triple Bs. Don't y'all laugh at me, y'all. I got Triple Bs upstairs, right? And I loved them. But more than loving the shoe, loving the feel, loving the look, I love the message. I think there are a lot of people out there that would love to hear Kyrie Irving's message. Now, there are a lot of naysayers as well. But you never go into business, you never go into any endeavor thinking about who's not going to like it. You think about who you can grab as a consumer, as a customer, right? Count those with you, not those against you. And there are a lot of people against Kyrie Irving, But I think if he put those shoes on, strapped them up, took the tape off and said, actually, these are Air Kyries, or you better not say Air, that's probably trademark, ground Kyries, whatever you want to say, down for the cause Kyries, whatever you want to call them. I know that those would sell. Kyrie's still a wizard with the basketball, still an amazing special talent with the basketball. And now, on a team with Luka, that should make some noise in the playoffs. So many opportunities here. We got to let bygones be bygones. It seems like Nike moved on. If you, Kyrie, are thinking straight and smart, it's time for you to move on. Get those ground Kyries. Well, coming up on Never Shut Up, it's time to talk about the big boys. Yes. And LeBron James eats like a fat boy, but he doesn't look like one. Tristan Thompson says LeBron has the worst fucking diet ever. Well, let's talk through it. That's next on Never Shut Up on Brinks TV and Reach TV. Welcome back to Never Shut Up. It's your boy Marcellus. Wiley sitting here chilling. Oh, I'm glad that this camera is cutting off my belly because I need this conversation right now. I need this topic. And it's really hurting to hear what I'm about to tell you guys. But let's go through it. We're all humans, and then there's LeBron James in terms of physique, in terms of stature, right? But my boy, my neighbor actually, Tristan Thompson, talked about LeBron's diet, and I knew that this was going to hurt because everybody looks at a LeBron James and you're like, oh, no wonder he looks like that. Kale salad every day, a little hummus when he's really trying to be frisky. Other than that, I know he eats lean and mean. Not according to his boy, Tristan Thompson, who says LeBron James has, quote, the worst fucking diet ever. Ask him what he eats for breakfast. He has like 5 French toasts, drowns it in syrup with strawberries and bananas. Then he has like a 4-egg omelet, and then he goes and just fucking dunks on somebody. It doesn't make sense. Man, oh my God. This is crazy to those who don't know athletes like I know athletes, and like Tristan Thompson even knows. He's like, this is a general rule out there that every strength coach has told us, every nutritionist in the world has told us, that you can't outwork the kitchen, but you can out-eat the gym. I'm going to say it again. You can't outwork the kitchen, but you can out-eat the gym, right? And that's me. I'm normal. Like, dog, I work out now. Oh, I better eat right, or else, why did you work out? You're going to look a damn mess, right? But then there are those exceptions to every rule. That's a rule of thumb for most people, for most athletes, but not all. Not LeBron James. I remember way back you were hearing about stories from different sports, and you hear about how many calories guys would eat, and you're like, insane numbers, 5, 6, 7, 12,000 calories a day. And you're like, what? Ain't no way. But we're all different. We're all built different, and we all have different engines no matter what our car looks like, right? So obviously that metabolism on LeBron James, that sucker is revving. But look how many calories he burns being LeBron James. I actually had an opportunity to witness this, like somebody who ate bad, but damn, dude looked yoked up. Google Greg Jones if you guys don't know who I'm talking about. Went to Florida State, played in Jacksonville with us, running back / fullback, muscle on muscle. His muscles have muscles, and then they borrowed other people's muscles and put them on top. He just walked around like, what it do? And I remember one day we were in there, and I'm in season, my 10th year, so obviously the belly is starting to poke out a little bit for me compared to who I used to be. And I'm like, nah, man, you're getting older now. They called me the Reverend. I had to make sure that I was taking care of myself, and it wasn't just in the weight room. It had to be in the kitchen. And I looked one day in the corner of the locker room, and I saw a Wendy's bag. My fat ass was like, I'm going to have some of that Wendy's. But I was like, I'm on my 10th year, and I ain't playing that well for a reason. I'm slowing down. I better be smart about this. But I smelt that Wendy's. I was like, hey, girl. I'm looking at that brown bag, and she got that little red writing. What you doing over there, girl? And I'm looking. And next thing I know, I see this big old muscular paw go grab that Wendy's bag and tear it apart, just assault the bag. And it was Greg Jones, all back Greg Jones, just like this. And he pulled out, and I know this because I'm a fat boy, right? I know about some Wendy's. A triple bacon Western cheeseburger classic combo with the large fry. And I'm looking like, damn, he about to, and he smoked it. And we just chalking it up, talking. I'm looking at him like, and this dude, Greg, had an 8-pack, right? The 6-pack borrowed 2. Like, it was just 2. I was like, and he just sitting there. Literally, every time I go to Wendy's, I know I've been to Wendy's because as soon as I'm done, I got this round mound right here. I got this mountain for my sauce to just drip over, right? And I'm like, immediately as soon as I eat something bad, I feel it. To this day. But looking at Greg, this dude doing it and just sitting there flexing, never any fat, any flab in sight. But, there were days when I was younger. There were days when I was going into my senior year of college where I didn't have the best diet. I used to make these homemade French fries like every single night. I would get big old baked potatoes, not regular fried potatoes, big old gigantic potatoes, and get some newspaper and just cut them up, slice them up, throw them in the frying pan, eat them every single night. 6-pack, 6-pack, 6-pack. Got to the league, I think before my contract year was the last time I looked like insane, sick, LeBron-esque, Greg Jones light kind of shape for me. And I didn't have the best diet then. But somehow, some way, those elevators start to go in different directions, right? Like when you are in that great prime peak metabolism, your diet can be down here. Then you start coming down, that diet better be up here, and it better be great, or else, unless you're LeBron, who has it like this, and unless you're Greg Jones, who has it like this, but most of us, if we want to be up here, this has to be up here as well. It's one of the most frustrating things I know everybody out there, diet. And first of all, just die. Let's just die, because who wants to try a diet? New Year's resolution every year. All right, cut the carbs. Let me just go into it. Okay, it's January 23rd. I'm on a new diet already, right? You just can't even keep up for 23 days in the new year when it happens. And then you say, okay, forget that. I'm going to try this new diet. Oh, why? Because I'm going to Vegas in 2 months. Got to get right. The week before that Vegas trip, you know what you do? You try to just crash diet because you ain't been perfect all the way from January 23rd to the Vegas trip. Ain't it random? I wish I had one superpower, actually more, but one superpower, which is let me eat what I want and look the way I want. Raise your hand if you're in that damn category. Raise your hand if you want that superpower. Yeah, put your hands down. None of us except LeBron. Well, coming up on Never Shut Up, it's time to go full throttle, full episode. It's time to go deep. It's talking about Gisele. She's moved on from Tom Brady. So how do you move on from your ex to your next? We're going to talk about the pain and the pleasure. And she out there getting it. That's next on Never Shut Up on Brinks TV. See you later, Brinks TV. Welcome back to Never Shut Up, full episode right here. It's time to talk that real right now. And we all know that Tom Brady and Gisele Bündchen are divorced, right? And since they've moved on, obviously, there have been reports of where they've been and who they've been with and all the speculation that comes from two famous people, uber famous people, and wealthy breaking up. But who cares about all that? That's for the tabloids. Let's talk about the real, how we can connect to this story, right? Because I saw Gisele on video at Carnival. Like, I've been to Trinidad and I've been to Brazil for Carnival. I used to go out there and be like, oh, this is a cool carnival. And they're like, look at this American hood dude. Carnival. Carnival. I'm like, whatever you call it, there's a lot of fine girls out here. That's all I know. And yeah, we're going to call that. I guess that's Spanish or Portuguese or Trinidadian for fine, right? Carnival. And I was just looking around like, this is amazing. All right. And then you start to learn the culture of it, right? And this is where this video comes into play. So Gisele's in some suite, looks like at some arena, stadium, and just dancing, showing off, showing out, enjoying herself as she should, right? And then you see this man in the video. And I know where your minds went. Like, I need to see this man. Who is this? Trying to threaten my boy Tom Brady, trying to make him jealous. Nah, that ain't the first play when you broke up. The first play is always to grab the non-threatening person, right? So she grabs the old man, the non-threatening man. And you know, he's scared to go all the way in because he's like, what I'm going to do with all this? And then she like, good, stay back, just a little dose of jealousy. Just throw it out there, right? So old man trying to keep up with her. She just doing the most. Getting it in, video ends. And it made me think, okay, I see what's going on here. She's just moving on, living her life. But I know I've been in that position before, going from my ex to my next. And as much as we try to act tough, like, oh man, I ain't tripping. Like, how many dudes you seen when they break up? Oh, I'm good, I'm good. Man, stop lying. I swear all of us turn into stalkers. I'm serious, stalkers. The only difference between us and real stalkers is they get caught. We don't get caught. But let's talk about what we really do. You know damn well Tom Brady's sitting somewhere right now scrolling. Wait a minute. Oh, Gisele. Man, I ain't unfollow her yet. Okay, let me see. Oh, okay. And then you know at the end of a reel it always says watch again. Then his hands start shaking. He's like, man, I don't want to see this again. I don't want to see this again. And then here we go again. She's shaking. Like, oh, I remember that shake. And then he's like, all right. But Tom Brady in that moment, like, how do you feel? It's crazy because not only is that your ex, and that's one level of commitment. That's not eternal commitment. Marriage is not eternal commitment. Eternal commitment is the mother of your children. Eternal commitment is you're always going to be the father to her kids. That means y'all always going to be connected. You married without kids and get divorced, y'all ain't even got to ever speak again. It's a wrap. It's done. But this is different. Y'all always entangled. And that's emotionally as well. So you're sitting there like, man, what is going on? I've been there before where I'm like, I've broken up or got dumped. Whatever way it happened, and it's over, and you feel like you moved on. Because me, my remedy, my medicine, the first thing I would do, the night we break up, I am out in them streets to cleanse my palate and to get myself recharged, right? I'm out. And one time I got caught up because I went out too fast and we ended up getting back together. She was like, well, what was you doing that first night? I was like, como se dice? I don't know what to say. But the point is, those are some crazy moments. Let's just dive into ex to next, right? Because when you're getting over somebody, you ain't done with them. Whether it's y'all still talking, still seeing each other, still messing around, or you try that clean break, but then your heart is bleeding because you're like, yo, I'm connected to you. And split brain, you trying to move on and, hey, how you doing? How hard is this? What's up? Yeah. Marcellus, what's your name? Oh, nice meeting you, Keisha. Okay. Where you from? Okay, cool. What's your favorite color? Like, to start over, like, you just ended this decade-long relationship to the depths of love, and now you back at a Waffle House asking some pretty girl, what's your favorite color? Like, you know how foolish it feels to be in those same moments at the same time, having this much love and heartache, and then what's her favorite color when you don't give a damn? And that's just the process. So going from your ex to next, you're sitting there like, this is some bullshit, right? Like, this is just weak. Like, I got to reset and restart. And I'm talking from a man's perspective. Oh, I think for real, it's way harder and worse for a woman. Oh, especially if you get up in age and have kids and all of a sudden, you don't want just any old dude. Where a dude, we kind of want any old girl. We ain't tripping. Like, we all right. And then you get in that position, poor Gisele. Like, she only has 7 dudes in the world that even qualified to be with her, she felt like, right? And Tom Brady, one of them. Now there's 6 other dudes, 4 of them married, and the other 2 crazy, right? She like, damn, what I'm gonna do? Meanwhile, Tom Brady, let's not lie, that list longer. I don't know the names, but it's longer. Like a girls that qualify for Tom Brady, and he like, damn, So that's tough, right? And then you look at it from her position. She's like, well, I'm going to move on, and I'm going to move on in the way I want to without judgment, hopefully, right? But there's always going to be one person judging it. It's going to be that stalker that doesn't get caught. That's Tom Brady. You know damn well he keeping up with her, and you know damn well she keeping up with him. And you know damn well they are doing it because it's not that hard to do. I don't even know Gisele like that. I know Tom Brady some, but I don't know Gisele. I could find out her every move just because of social media, because of paparazzi, because of everything. I know she had Carnival. Look at that. That's crazy. And we've all been through those situations, man. And we know how to play it, and we know how we felt getting played. So I just thought that was an interesting story of someone moving on, got to move on, fast as you want, slow as you want, and you can't even hide. Like everything you do is in plain sight. Not only for the world to see and potentially judge, but even for your ex to sit there and you know he's watching, because we all are. All right, you know how we end these shows every single time with a Wileyism. Let's get this one out right now. Rich is being happy with your portion. Say it again. Rich is being happy with your portion. God, that is so good. You know why? Because me, like many of you guys probably, grew up poor, right? And then when you get $5 in your pocket, you become an adult, you take care of your own family, you grow your own family, people always want you to reflect and talk about how you grew up. And it's funny, so many of my friends and so many people I know with similar backgrounds all say, you know what? I never felt poor. Why? Because really rich is being happy with your portion. We didn't have a lot, but it filled us. It fulfilled us. We were just happy with what we had. Didn't even know and wasn't fully aware of what was out there, and more importantly, what we were missing out on. I had no idea. And that's the craziest thing about it. Until you get it, and then you're like, oh, now I know how poor we really were because of how much I have now. But in those moments, rich is just being happy with what you got. I see it all the time on display, whether it's my kids, you know, you give them all one bag of chips. And then MJ, he's bigger, he's older, he wants 2 bags. And then everybody all of a sudden wants 2 bags. But then next thing you know, they only appreciate 2 bags. They mad at that. Why you only give me 2 bags? I'm like, y'all were happy when I gave you the first bag. But then you got greedy, now you want the second bag. And the third bag. And that's where it hits me, this quote as well. When I got $5 in my pocket, when I made it to the league, all of a sudden I started to get more preoccupied with money than I ever been in my life. Like, I didn't even have that much, so maybe I wasn't mindful of it, but when I didn't have that much, I felt good, had great energy, could do what I wanted to do, in part because I limited what I could do. Then when you get money, you think you could do everything, but that costs. So then you start thinking about everything in terms of how you could pay for it, how you can acquire it, how it could be yours in possession, which takes you to a place that is not always full of gratitude. Because you can stay right here and be great. You've done it. I did it for 21 years with nothing, basically. And then all of a sudden I get 21. I got to have this chain. Then I get one chain. Oh, I need another one because that one's white gold. I need one that's platinum. Oh, no, now I need a gold one. No, I need a rose gold one. Now I need one with my number. Now I need one with my name. Next thing you know, you're just going. And you chasing. And you're chasing what? You don't even know. But you feel that urge to kind of keep up, not only with the Joneses, but to live out all of your fantasies and dreams you had before. But that's not really rich. You may be rich in terms of your bank account, but now you're not rich emotionally. Now you're not rich in terms of how you feel about life because you're now in pursuit of everything. Where before you were happy, you were fully satisfied with what you had. It's just weird that mind play. It's weird the trickery that comes from having more but feeling less. Crazy how that goes. So all you guys out there, take this Wileyism to heart. Rich is being happy with your portion. That'll do it for today's episode of Never Shut Up. Hey, first of all, get one of these because what's in it, y'all can't have, but get you a cup. We'll share and have a hydration situation. Appreciate y'all and the love and everything. See you tomorrow on Never Shut Up on Brinks TV and Reach TV. Peace.